New year, new anime. The anime industry makes tons of new shows for each season, and with the start of the new year again comes new anime. Winter 2019 season has just started.
This is me back in January of 2019 with my MacBook Pro and my gaming headset mic. AniHive, or AniHive as it started out, was the channel that I formed. It was supposed to be a channel where I would talk about various entertainment related things, but it evolved into AniHive, which became a place where I do various animated related things like video essays and all sorts of other topics. I thought I would only be doing this until I eventually got bored, but 5 years later, I'm still making videos. While I took many breaks that spanned many months, I still never really got tired of making videos. It was always something I'd come back to. Being the person that I am, I never really invested time into things. I'd always try for something for a bit, then just stop or just come back to it occasionally, but not really feel the same as I did when I first started. Making these videos changed something within me. It was the first thing where I enjoyed doing it, and I always wanted to be better and continue to improve. I thought, this is the thing that I love to do, and I want to continue it for as long as I'm willing and able to. 2019, sophomore year of college. I was riding a high. The first semester of that year was really good, and the second semester was honestly the best I've ever felt in my entire life. I exercised daily with my roommate, I enjoyed my classes, I even had the confidence to ask a girl out. That semester I still look fondly upon. Since things were going so well, I thought I'd do something I'd always want to do. Start my own YouTube channel. I've always enjoyed talking about and reviewing various movies and TV shows that I watched. What started with me writing my reviews in a journal for my sister, the idea transferred to the internet when I started to write anime reviews on my anime list. I didn't do much, but I wasn't really fulfilled. I thought it would be cool to do videos paired with these scripts, since I was studying film, and editing was something I'd always been interested in, but didn't know too much about. Thus, AniHive was born. The idea AniHive actually came to me in a dream. I'd never been a person to go after my ideas, but I'd always be able to have an idea pop into my head randomly. Some were great, while others were bad. This idea happened to be so strong that I had to act on it. It's crazy because I thought of the name, what the channel was going to be about, the graphics for the logo, and even each banner for the socials. That bee theme was just so appealing to me, I guess. I like how I thought of the various letters in different hexes. I thought I did a really good job on that, and I still look back to that on this day. The graphics and the banners were done by my older sister, who's a graphic designer / artist. Without her, the graphics wouldn't have been made, since I didn't know how to do that stuff back in 2019. Through time though, we sat together and I told her my idea while she helped me enhance it. She even gave me ideas that I'd never thought of, like changing the initial design of the banners to something else. That eventually led me to placing some of my favorite games / animes in the hexes for the banner. Things went through a lot of change, but I'm glad I changed it, and maybe in the future, it'll change again, but we'll see. Now, ever since I watched my friend make gameplay videos on YouTube back when I was in elementary school, I'd always wanted to make YouTube videos. I actually did make some when I got a flip camera, you remember those? They weren't good or anything special. It didn't really last very long, and I kinda just forgot about it, until college all those years later. With all that confidence I had, in the week and a half I spent working on the video, Winter 2019 Animes became the first video on my channel, and honestly, the video that I'm most proud of to this day.
Promised Neverland had an incredible first episode. It's made by Cloverworks, which is A1's new parent studio.
While it had so many flaws, I still look back on it fondly. I spent many hours every day editing and doing everything I could to make that video as good as possible. At the time, I was using my MacBook Pro to edit and do everything, so a lot of my old videos are on hard drives that were locked to my MacBook. I was also using Avid Media Composer because it was the only editing software I knew how to use because of school, and let me tell you, it sucks. Even if it is the first non-linear editing software, and the software most big budget movies use to edit with, it's just not user-friendly and intuitive. It's better to use things like Premiere Pro or even Sony Vegas for YouTube videos, since they're way easier. Avid has the most roundabout ways of doing things. For example, you want to put in an image, right? In Premiere Pro, all you have to do is drag the image into your software and then drag it to the timeline. In Avid, however, you have to link the image from your files, then the image will appear on your software. But wait, it's not formatted correctly. Now you have to format it properly. After it's formatted, you then can access the image and place it on the timeline. You might think once the picture is formatted once, Avid would remember it for all other linked pictures. Guess what it doesn't do? Remember the formatting. I haven't used it in a while, so I might be misremembering things. I believe that's how putting images into Avid worked. While Avid was a great software for big budget things, since the customization and even multi-camera editing is just straight up better, one thing I cannot forgive is crashing. Out of every editing software I've used over the years, Avid crashes so often. I can't tell you the amount of times I've lost significant amount of progress because Avid would crash and not have my last save. Even with auto-saving to every minute like I had it, there were times where Avid would just crash and you couldn't do anything to save your last couple of auto-saves. Even with the high-tech computers my school had, Avid would still crash frequently. Absolutely frustrating program. I would go on to switching to Premiere Pro, which is much better than Avid, but it still has crashing problems, and sometimes even worse crashing than Avid. Sometimes the program would just crash and not know it crashed, so the autosaves would not register and you'd just lose so much progress. Absolute garbage. These programs are so finicky, I swear. DaVinci Resolve is the program I use now. As good as Premiere Pro, it doesn't crash ever, and it's completely free. I'm shocked with how good this editing program is, and it's completely free, like I just said. Absolutely insane. The only thing I don't like about it is that other editing softwares created timelines that you could transfer between each other's editing softwares, but DaVinci doesn't give you timelines like that. Transferring timelines between computers or even other editing softwares is needlessly complex, but that's like the one flaw that's bothered me. This software has become my favorite and I'll probably use it for years to come unless Adobe lowers the price of the Creative Suite or gives you a one-time payment and you could use it forever. But they won't. So DaVinci it is. As I was making more and more videos, I was learning more and more about editing, voiceover, exposure, thumbnail making, writing, and how copyright worked on YouTube. Timing is a thing you just kind of have to feel for as time goes on, but voiceover was something I really had to practice. I was always worried in the beginning that my voice didn't sound good, and I didn't know why. It wasn't the quality I was worried about though. I eventually got a new mic with the I Wanna Eat Your Pancreas video, which I still use today, but I was speaking how I normally speak, so why did it sound like this?
This opening is sung by a Japanese love singer who hasn't ever sung an anime opening.
That's because I learned that you have to play up your voice a lot to sound more natural. Here's one of the older videos.
Elfin Lied's opening, a very beautiful yet sad song sung in an operatic way.
And here's a new one. Let us start with the show that is so popular right now. Bocchi the Rock just started as another cute girls doing cute things show, but now you can't look at any anime related conversation and not see Bocchi mentioned. This took me a long time to figure out, and I don't really have an explanation besides just keep practice speaking as animated as possible. You might sound weird, but at least for me, it definitely makes me sound way better and more natural. Copyright was another big problem. As someone who wants to make anime-focused content, it's inevitable that this is going to be a problem. Japanese copyright laws don't have fair use, so there'll be some times where you'll show something or play something, and they'll just straight up block the video from being seen. You can try to appeal it like I did one time, saying it's fair use, since it's in review, which is a transformative work, but it's Japanese content, and they are the rightful owners of the work, so they can gatekeep the work as much as they want, and there's no fair use, which I didn't know at the time. This led to weeks of work down the drain because I couldn't surpass copyright. Various videos I've made have been unreleased due to this issue, and it was always a damper on the situation. There's also the fact that I love doing anime opening related videos, but those are the videos that get striked the hardest. It might be fine sometimes because you can still use the content, but you just can't monetize it, which doesn't apply to me yet. Anime openings music and or videos straight up cannot be shown. There are ways to get around YouTube copyright, which I even used in the early days, but most of the time, if I couldn't use something, I'd just use stills and make it animated. Sometimes it was just a song that I couldn't use, so in those cases, I was just out of luck. In any case, getting around YouTube copyright as an anime YouTuber is something you'll have to face, and it sucks. Exposure was something I didn't know back then, and still don't really know how to now. How to market yourself was something that many can give you tips on, but ultimately, it really just comes down to luck. You just get one person to see it and you can blow up just like that. Or you can be like me and just hope the algorithm picks it up somehow. I've tried many different things. I've promoted a video as an ad before, which I didn't really know how it worked. I thought they would pay me for the amount of views it got as an ad, but it was the opposite. I had to pay them. I decided not to do that again since I had no money. Other things I tried was word of mouth. Most of the first 100 subs were people I encountered in college, plus friends, so I had a great sub growth at first, but nobody watched the videos. I still encounter that problem now, but as time goes on, they'll probably get better. I also posted my videos on places like Reddit or my socials, which I didn't know how to promote there, so they didn't get much traction. I even tried collaborating with other YouTubers, but they would all fall through. I was shocked that my Ashita no Joe video did so well, since it's not popular in the slightest here. But this, and other videos on my channel like my 1 ounce video, blew up because they were targeting a niche audience who have very strong opinions about the show. I just try to make the best videos I can, use good keywords, and just pray to the gods that my video gets picked up by the algorithm. Thumbnails are something I struggle hard with even now. It's hard to make something that's appealing to someone just looking at a video. Lots of mine feel very amateurish, and I had help from friends, or even family to make my thumbnails stand out, but most of the time, they would still look meh. I just use my best judgment now, and try my best to make something that looks somewhat appealing. I might just get someone to do this part for me, but I'm not sure yet. Writing was also another struggle. I tend to just write the entire script in one go, and then just have my friend edit it. When I first started, I edited my own scripts, but I like how some friends offered to edit my scripts. I struggle with flow and coherency when it comes to my writing, so having another set of eyes on it really helps. I still rely on my friend, who I still use today. It was someone else before, but I had stopped asking him since he seems so busy all the time. I'm just glad for some help on the areas that are the hardest for me, like writing. It helps because my friend was an English major, so that's a big plus. Anyway, as I continued video making, I eventually hit a wall in April of 2019. This was the first of my many mental health breaks. I noticed that I go through bouts of depression for many months before getting more and more able to handle it, only for it to come back again. It's been like that since 2019. Ever since that sophomore year high that I felt, I've been struggling to get it back. There was a huge dip when I went into the summer, and it was the worst that I had ever felt at the time. I had no more desire to make videos, and I was just overall worried about what people might think. Overall, anxiety went up during that time. After a couple months, however, I'd steel myself up and get back into video editing, only to stop just a couple months later. Instead of taking these short 3 to 4 month breaks, I'd take these longer 6 to 8 month breaks. It seemed like at the end of the summer into Christmas time is the worst for me. Not only did I not want to do videos, but I didn't want to do anything. That eventually spawned the What Am I Watching series, so that's not too bad, but I think back on it, and if I made videos during that time, would I already be at 1,000 subs? Just something I think back on. With every new video, in the beginning of my YouTube journey, I tried to challenge myself with something new, like a new edit or a new way of scripting or something. I still try it now, and will try to continue to strive to be even better than I was in the previous video. After all the ups and the downs I've had with this channel, and my own mental health, I realized after all of it, that I actually really enjoy this. I was always hesitant to return from breaks because I never thought that I was good enough to make these videos, or if people wanted to watch them. I really enjoy making videos though, and even if it took the longest time to come out, I was always happy to see the end result. So much so that I occasionally watch my videos over and over again from time to time. After leaving so many times and coming back every time, I realize now that video making might be the thing that I love. After spending all of my childhood and even most of my teens to early college years trying to find something that I can pour all of my heart and soul into, I finally found that something that truly makes me happy. I really want to keep doing this for as long as I'm willing and able to, like I said before, but who knows what the future holds. Maybe I'll stop making videos entirely. Maybe I'll have another depressive bout. But one thing is certain, I'll try my absolute best to create the highest quality content I can and make things that I want to make. If it doesn't align with what you like, that's fine. You don't have to watch it. But I really want to make things that make me happy rather than striving to be popular. I would just love to get big on YouTube, but if that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'll just make what I want. Also, if you're worried I might run out of content, I've been compiling ideas for 5 years, so I think we should be okay. Thanks for watching this video. This was a very personal video, but I thought I'd share it since you guys probably don't know much about me, besides my taste in anime. I'm still shocked that I've been doing this for 5 years. It really feels like yesterday I started the channel. Thanks to all who have been with me since the beginning, and thanks to all the newer subscribers too. I hope you enjoy all my previous catalog and the new stuff coming to you soon. Please subscribe if you like the content, and turn on the bell for when I release a new video. I'll do my best to deliver as much as I can as high as a quality as I can in this year and the years coming. Here's to hopefully another 5 years. And don't forget, join the Hive.